Welcome to another OCD Recovery YouTube video where I'm going to be talking very briefly about anxiety sensations. So what we tend to do is when we feel any anxiety sensations, we desperately want rid of them. And we all understand, well, not all, but we tend to have the understanding that we've got to wear this like an uncomfortable coat, not try and get rid of this, experience it. But another thing that I really want to highlight here, which is a key point, is we tend to, in that moment, take that feeling and then imagine that's our whole life, that nothing else will change in our life, that will be our baseline state for the rest of our life. And unless we change something now, and this indicator that we're experiencing means that this is the feeling, and unless something's changed, we're doomed. And that's not true. Emotional states change all the time. During the day, we're changing range of emotional states. One minute we're feeling okay, one minute we're feeling a bit angry, one minute we feel a bit frustrated, one minute we're feeling happy, one minute we're feeling tired. That happens all the time. From moment to moment, things are changing. Moment to moment, life changes because the experience, the emotional state changes. If you do a fast walk, you might feel better. If you had a little sleep, you might feel better. If you watch a nice film, you might feel better. And that's constantly changing all the time. That is changing. But we tend to base this as like our set state forever, right? It's like everything changes. Our hair is constantly changing in the day. Your hair style is changing in terms of how it looks. It's growing. You might have put gel in it. You might need a haircut like me. All these kinds of things. But you're not anxiously concerned about those. Maybe you are, but you're not anxiously concerned about those. What you're doing is you're focused on your anxiety state, watching it like a hawk with an imaginary thermometer, constantly measuring how anxious you are at every moment. The moment you get up, how anxious am I? The moment I go to bed, how anxious am I? Is that changing? Am I staying like that? Has that got worse? Did I feel triggered? Has that triggered gone down? And constantly monitoring it, viewing it like a life or death scenario, like a fixed state forever. It's not fixed. Life's changing. Life events are changing. What we think, how we feel, what makes us happy, what doesn't, is changing through our life all the time. And you only notice this in shifts of life. Like perhaps you notice at 25, oh my gosh, I'm not as young as I was when I was 20. But you don't spot that when you're 21 and 22. You think of that as about the same until then years pass. And then you think, shit, I'm a lot older than I thought. And so on. And these things happen. And we don't talk about those in normal life, but that's what happens. That's the reality of our lives. These things are happening to us. These things are changing. And that's exactly the same as the emotional state we're in. That is constantly changing all the time, right? All the time. All of these things are changing, okay? And I think it's very important to realize these things and to not judge them, okay? So otherwise, if we start judging the changes, say with age, we really hate we're getting older and we're constantly looking at our skin and thinking, how do I look? What am I feeling? How do I look to a different? You're going to feel worse all the time because age is going against you. So it's about learning to ride out and accept that, okay, I'm aging. I'll just observe that and leave that there, but I do not need that all worked out and fixed and answered right this second, right? And that's very much the same as anything that's happening in life. Learning to become an observer, not fixated on an answer needing something right this second. But we all tend to do that, yeah? I do that in so many areas of things, with work, with relationships. We all do it. We're looking and thinking, it's this and what's that, and how do I feel about this and how do I feel about that, and what should I be doing now? We all do that as humans in all areas of our life, and it's very important to realize that we do not need to actively internally control these situations and try and force them and fix them. And that is one of the key ingredients of OCD recovery, leaning off that trying to force and fix internal state, that battle, that fixation, because we do it. And I have to highlight and use those words enough throughout this video so you are aware of that, because otherwise people don't, and they just keep going on and on down that track. Oh, how do I stop? How do I stop this, Rob? How do I not think this? How do I not that? And that becomes an internal fixation. Now, don't get me wrong, when you're scared and OCD is latched, it can feel all sort of latched up and locked, and it doesn't instantly go down. But having an insight into this, like I'm trying to explain here in this video, makes a key difference, because it gives us that position of being able to see that we can become an observer, not an engager. We can be willing to allow it to do whatever here, allow it to just feel, be experienced, to just let it play out. That doesn't mean just do nothing. That means just trying to become an observer of our life, of our state, of our being a human being, as just a changing process. And emotions are a changing process. Even when they feel latched 24/7, they still wax and wane, bit more there, bit less there, bit distracted there, and so on. It's not a fixed state. The fixedness, that fixed thing, is what we fear so much. Oh my God, that's trapped, locked, fixed. And we've got to observe and see, hey, let's leave that. Let's try and observe that. Let's not try and get into that and force it apart, or get another sensation to appear right now and be at peace right now, or feel calm right now, or get all this answered right now, because that then becomes the problem too. We become actively on trying to get rid of that sensation. We become active on trying to force that sensation away. And then we set up a battle, which then creates another sensation, a frustration sensation, a sort of angry sensation, or just more sort of for general frustration. And so we need to get used to feeling and allowing anything there. Any sensation, any time of day, anywhere. That is the key point of today's video. Probably went on a bit there, but I wanted to sort of cover it in detail so that you've got a good understanding of what I was trying to say. All right, guys, take it easy, and I will be back on another YouTube video, doing some more of these sort of short videos as well as longer videos, but trying to do more of these shorter videos just to capture particular messages that I like to get across to you during the day when I think of them, or snippets of old videos where I thought there was a particularly good message that I think you should see today. So yeah, I'll keep doing that. All right, guys, take it easy. See you later.